how did you develop, for example, your relationship with Frost in the gym with what you needed, what you don't need? Because now that we dive more into these podcasts with the fighters that we bring on, a lot of them sometimes are second or third time being here, and we love to just keep the interaction, not so much interview them, but just talk about what's going on currently in their career. Okay. And a lot of them talk about the fact that, like, when they got to a certain point with a coach, they knew it could keep going, or they got to a certain point with a coach and that coach couldn't help them get to the next level. But it was when it clicked is when they realized that. And it was really on the coach's job to kind of see what the fighter needed and the fighter meet him halfway. What do you think it was with you and Faraz that allowed you to continuously grow as a fighter?
Yeah, so Faraz is another guy. He's been great. So, and super flexible, whereas, like, you know, I feel like we hit a plateau. I share my feelings with him, and we try to incorporate new things. So, for example, like, if I felt like I needed a different look striking, he was never closed-minded for me to, like, go to another, like, striking coach, for example, you know. He was never, like, a guy that felt like he had to, like, control his fighters. He was open to, like, you know, letting people, you know, go and get different looks, you know.
But still staying as your head coach.
Yeah.
Is that a hard thing for most coaches to have that type of non-ego?
No, that's rare. That's rare too.
Right?
That's rare too. You know, I've learned in, like, mixed martial art, a lot of coaches have pride in their ego in their martial arts, because, you know, you working with, like, if you're a wrestling coach, you working with a jiu-jitsu coach, and y'all kind of, like, don't see eye to eye sometimes. Same with boxing and kickboxing. So, you know, a lot of people have pride in their martial arts. So it sounds like a good coach.
Yeah, like, we see a lot of teams, like, say, for example, Eric Nixick, he'll go to a fight, and maybe sometimes Sean Strickland will be in the corner with him. Like, a fighter will help the coach with another fighter in the gym. Did you ever have to sit down with GSP and say, yo, can you be in my corner? Or, yo, could you help me out for a fight? Or was it just, like, a known thing? Or did he want to be there for you on certain fights? Or
Yes, he actually cornered me in at least one fight. Actually, no, it wasn't on your card. But, yeah, he cornered me in one fight. But it was just more of, like, a natural thing, you know. When you spend so much time training with a certain training partner, you know, it kind of just develops into being like, oh, you wanna corner, you know,